Chip and I are what we call the olive tree garden. And we just completed the backyard renovation. My guys finished it yesterday. I haven't actually seen it since we completely finished it, so we're gonna go take a look at it. We showed you when we started, and we took out an entire koi pond, which was actually pretty nice, but the owners felt it was a hazard for grandchildren and such, so we removed that. And then we totally renovated the garden by taking out old overgrown shrubs and changing the circulation and ending up with a nice central lawn area. Chip's wearing a GoPro camera, and so he'll be doing some of the photography. Brendan will be doing some of the photography, and we'll have you vote to see who's a better photographer, Chip or Brendan. Let's go, Chip. Let's go, Mr. Chip. Is he following me? Oh, good. Go ahead. You look first, Chip. Wow, look at that. Chip, look at it. Film it. Get it. Man, that looks pretty good. This is dwarf white loropetalum, and it's under these existing redwoods. And we've got a low-growing special drift white rose here in the cutout. We think it's going to get enough sun. The fences were falling over. The one way over there we just rebuilt, and this one they replaced completely. And then we painted it our special Benjamin Moore Dragon's Breath color. That Dragon's Breath makes the fence more recessive to where you don't notice it much. And then we planted in front of a lot of them. Some of them we moved shrubs, and others we planted new small shrubs. Hey, let's stop and smell the roses, Chip. We did a lot of transplanting roses, and I would prefer to prune them all, almost as if we're doing dormant pruning. The proper way would be to prune all of these down dramatically and let them resprout. But we left them just like they were when we transplanted them. They were blooming, and so the owner didn't want us to prune them. We don't know what this one is. What's that? Oh, she labeled it, but it doesn't say the name, just light pink with white and yellow. This is the concrete that we just added. Before, the circulation was much different, so we opened up the circulation and put this stamped concrete, which we matched an existing paving that had been in for 25 years, so that's hard to match it exactly, but it looks like it's on the way to curing to be a pretty good match. It takes a while to cure and to actually get to be the right color. They picked this very light colored stone because they wanted it to be similar to the stamped concrete around the pool. We haven't sealed it yet, but we will be sealing them both, and when you seal them, you get a little richer color. We just laid this sod, and so the sod has to root in, and we have to water it a lot, and we don't want to be watering over the new seal, so we're going to let this sod heal in and root, and then we'll seal. The lawn, which is now usable, open lawn, flanked by this axial double row of Desert Museum Palo Verde trees, which is pretty spectacular. Under each Palo Verde tree we have some steel edging, so it's easy to keep those squares. Then we've got 4 society garlic and mixed red begonias under each. And then this kind of directs you out to a view of the golf course. In front of the golf course we've got a little bit of ugliness, so we used a plant that's going to get about 3 to 5 feet tall and screen the ugliness but allow view right over it. It's got to grow though. These are a really neat, tough, low maintenance plant called Russellia St. Elmo's Fire. You can see we've got just a little bit of bloom on one of them. You can see what the flowers look like, but as it gets a little warmer we'll get more growth, more flowers. Chip is exploring the garden in every corner, and you'll be able to see that because he's filming it as he explores, and he's looking at all of these plants. We added 2 areas of flagstone paving that look pretty darn good. They're going to put some kind of furniture. All of these areas were overgrown. We fixed the fence right here. This is the one we repaired. So you can see those treated 4x4 posts is how we made the fence strong and straight without spending a lot of money. And we just connected them to the existing posts, which had broken off and were flimsy. And then we used big screening shrubs that's gonna grow and cover this big house next to us and cover the fence. We used Laurus nobilis, which is bay, or some people call it sweet bay, or Grecian laurel. We actually moved this. This is a very valuable dissectum Japanese maple. We moved it from the koi pond area to right here in front of these windows. When we moved it, it was dormant, which is a good time to do it, and it sprouted very nicely. We think it's on its way to success. There's a little outdoor kitchen, which we didn't touch, and then we used these oak leaf hydrangeas along this existing walk. We painted this fence dragon's breath in an attempt to kind of play down the significance of the fence, and this opens up to what is going to be, and starting to be, a nice lemon arbor. Whoever maintained it before these people moved in didn't do anything to it. They just let the lemons grow like trees, and we started the process of training it to make an actual lemon arbor. We just need to come through here and retie the branches and take off some of the sucker growth. It had a bunch of sprinklers and it was really wet, and they didn't like the wetness next to the house, so we did a simple drip system. And you can see our drain inlets now are at a nice grade to where they're lower than everything around them, and they have gravel around them. And from the lemon arbor, you can see the two Japanese maples that we moved. Those were also surrounding the koi pond that came out. Those are probably 25 years old, and they've done pretty well. We pruned them significantly to balance the root loss with leaf loss, because it's leaves that require water. We had a lot less roots, so we wanted a lower requirement for water, so we did a lot of thinning, very similar to the video we did on how you thin a Japanese maple. You can see this one is the one that has a little bit of dead wood on it. So we'll be taking that dead wood out and using more blend. We used a lot of blend, excellent for transplanting big trees. In order to get a lot of healthy growth on this lemon arbor, we are infusing the soil at the base of each of these lemon trees with our blend. And that'll not only feed the soil, but it'll feed the lemon trees themselves. Everything that we planted, we used blend with penetrate liquid biotiller. That combination is powerful. I usually use about 3 cups around each rows of the blend, and then I just spray or drench around it with the penetrate liquid biotiller. We did a video where we went to a rose garden in Mission Viejo, and they've had tremendous results by using our product around all of their roses. We did use Nourish Biosol on the lawn because that is what makes lawn green and gives it this color, this tremendous color. But in addition to Nourish Biosol, we used Optimize because that really feeds soil, and we used Maximize. That not only feeds soil, but provides beneficial microbes and encourages the occurrence. So let us know what you thought of our tour, if it helped you at all, or what you need in order to get more assistance from us. And also let us know whose photography was better, Brendan's photography or Chip's, and I'll pass it on to Chip and Brendan. You know, I notice a lot of landscape installers don't give adequate consideration to the most important part of gardening, which is the health of the soil. One simple thing that you can do if you don't feel like digging everything up and putting a lot of effort into tilling and stuff is use microbial tillers, which are beneficial bacteria, fungi, protozoa, good nematodes, and those microbial tillers are in our products, and food for them is in our products. So it's a combination of fertilizer for the soil and fertilizer for the plant. Most products are one or the other, and most chemical products are just fertilizer for the plants, and they don't improve soil at all. So I might have, you can edit and use what you want. I might have gone overboard on that. It sounds like a commercial.